Right? So far, so good.
We have made it to Montana. 40 degrees out now. Any colder could be running the risk of snow. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Trey, and me and my fiance has been living in this RV for a little over a year and a half now. And this weekend, we leave from our month-long stay in the Grand Tetons, and we're moving up to a little town called Kalispell, Montana this weekend, which is about a 7-8 hour drive, but really about a 10 to 12 drive RV time. So, we've heard a lot about Glacier, a lot of people's hyped us up about it, and Jess and I have been looking forward to this for quite some time now because everybody we meet has been telling us how great Glacier National Park is and just hyping us up on the entire experience that we're going to have. And we're first timers. But first, what does the trip look like this weekend? And let's rewind a little bit, guys, because today is Friday. And with the trip that we have this weekend, or the drive we have this weekend, we could technically make it in a day, but we don't want to arrive in the dark and have to set up in the dark. So we're going to split it up into 2 easy days. This means it's time to pick a place to stay for tomorrow night. And we want to be close to Flathead Lake. I'm not familiar with it, but I know that's a good spot to be for Saturday night. So Sunday, we don't really have to drive too far to our campground. I think it's going to be like a 2-hour, 3-hour drive on Sunday. So we want to get most of the driving out of the way tomorrow. And we're going to use an app and a website that I love to book with, and it's called Hipcamp, and I always recommend it to anybody I get a chance to talk to. Go ahead and bring up Hipcamp and see what we can find for Montana. And I already did a little research to kind of figure out where I want to be, so always do your research beforehand. All right, we got 2 adults, 2 pets. I'm going to, because I already have my camping style put in here, you can just populate that, show the places that are there, and you can do, let's say I do want electrical hookup at least. I can deal without water and sewage for a night. That's the benefit. I can do without water and sewage because we can fill up the freshwater tank, and we can get by on sewage for a night. So this one is $60 a night. Let's see what that gets us. Gets us a big field for the night. 60. This is Mud Lake RV, hosted by Embry. 50 amps, water. $60 a night. But man, check this out. This is a $11 service fee, $5 tax if I want to do that, $60 a night. So that would bring it up to $77.55 for the night. As you see, I have a little heart here because this is one I was looking at earlier, but I did want to check some other options just to see what's around the lake. Interesting, because this one looks pretty cool too. This is a 60-minute drive from the West Glacier entrance. This is $40 a night. Off-leash friendly, which is nice. No sewage. It does have a hookup, and it's 30 amps. So that's kind of nice. Let's see what the views, because I always go for the views, right? Let's see what this has. Just looks like it's kind of like on the side where it's essentially beside a barn. The barn just has like an electrical hookup, water hookup. But you know what? If it's just for a night, you can't really be too picky. Thinking Bigfoot here is winning. So the last check I like to do here before I do anything is I'll open up Google Maps real quick. And just trying to get a sense of where this one's at. This one's $40 near a town called Somers, right? So, Google Maps. And let's see, Swan Valley, Idaho. Okay, to Somers. If I can spell Somers, Montana. How far of a drive is that? Boy, that's about 7 hours, close to 7 hours. So that's really about 9-ish. So we'd have to leave here fairly early, I would say. Bonus perk here is that the host offers late checkout for just $10. That's crazy because you can extend your checkout from noon until 2 p.m. Something that I don't run across often, but I do run across every now and then, is this right here. Your host has 24 hours to accept your request, meaning they have it set up to where they can decline if they choose to. You're just not going to get an automatic spot for this spot or for this place. All right. You ready? Are you ready? Okay. I tell you guys something. I'm really gonna miss this place. And it's mid-June, late June, and it's 44 degrees outside. It's nice puffer season. I love that. Like I just mentioned, both Jess and I are really going to miss this place. One thing we have noticed when we stay at places for a month at a time is we grow attached to them and their way of life. From the community to the little market down the road, it's going to be hard replicating this feeling somewhere else. But it's time to get packed up and head on out. We have some driving to do. Alright, so last thing before we get out of here is just checking the lights, making sure everything's working, and doing one last little walk around before we get out of here. Hey Siri. What's the weather like in Kalispell, Montana?
It's currently cloudy and 50 degrees in Kalispell, Montana. Temperatures are heading down from 52 to 45 degrees tonight.
Brr.
Prime summer conditions. If you ever need a good base to stay when you're in the Jackson area, feel free to look up the park at Swan Valley. Incredible community, camp hosts, and scenery. But it's time to head on out and hit the road. We don't make it too far before we hit the Montana state border. Guys, I hope you can hear me. It's really chilly, really windy, but we have made it to Montana. It's weird. It just turned summer last week, and it's about 45 degrees out in Montana. You know, if you're planning for Montana, I would say, especially Glacier in the summer, I would say try to get your reservations in as early as you can possibly, because it took us a lot of digging around. It probably took us about 2 solid weeks of trying to make reservations and finding a spot that would take us or had availability. Because everybody else would either one wasn't open for the season just yet, or 2 was already filled up. And we booked, I think, about 2 months ago. It's June now, so I think we booked around April, right around that time frame. So get your reservations in early. I would even say, hey, it's February. If you're shooting for June, July, the peak seasons of Montana, go for February, March. Try to get it in that time frame. So just my little tip for the day. Also, let's talk about this gas station real quick. This store serves as a deli and a post office, which is the first I have seen of its kind. A population of 35 people. Today is pretty smooth sailing. Fair weather and beautiful scenic views until we reach Flathead Lake and start heading on this long muddy dirt road that apparently leads to a Hipcamp. So we're currently at a standstill right now because we don't really know if we need to go straight or go up this like narrow uphill secondary dirt road up the dirt road. So I just messaged the host to see what we need to do here. Need some guidance, please. We got our guidance, and luckily it wasn't having to go up that narrow road. We can just keep going straight, and apparently just make a right, the next right, wherever that's at. Don't see it just yet, but apparently it exists.
My heart was pounding. Trey's heart was pounding. But the host was very kind, and he was able to kind of give us directions on getting up that hill. Now we're about to go ahead and get settled. It is raining, so it is very chilly. It's funny because it's supposed to get warmer later this week, so we came just in time.
Yeah, it is. It's a little chilly. I was planning on having a campfire and having like a nice thing and all that good stuff, but
it is raining.
This is like P&W prime vibes right now.
Cozy vibes to stay inside and maybe watch a movie.
Well, we can have a campfire by the fireplace. I mean, that's really about it. The jack stands are so muddy. Ugh. It's grimy out here.
The little rents got kind of muddy on the way here. Hey, look at that. It's got all kinds of dirt on here. Jack stands are filthy. Polka. Good boy.
host did let us know earlier that there are bears in the area. There's a pair of mountain lions also, but they only really come out at night. And the bears, they're black bears, they're not grizzlies. He said the grizzlies typically stay up in higher elevations on the mountains, all that good stuff. But if you want to come here with your RV, all this is open for your dogs to go and roam. And I believe these guys are fairly new. This is the one that only had like one review, which 100% by the way. And they have this grill right here, so that'd be kind of appetizing. You know, I'm a big ribs person. That'd be a good little spot to have some ribs. And yeah, you got a little fire pit right here. They even have you a bundle of woods. Can you guys see that? And this is kind of where your campsite is. Let me show you guys around the area here. So honestly, you're really giving Washington vibes right now. It's cloudy, it's rainy, like misty. And beside here, featuring the camera, you have a little area. It's like a little smoking area. You can come if you're into that, or just get out of the rain, you know, whatever, and you can use all of that. So they have all of the Yeti stuff here, all the Yeti rules. The thing I cannot get over is it's 9:30 p.m., like 9:30, 9:45. It is still bright outside as if it's like 7:30, 8 o'clock. Oh wow. Hanging by the fire for the night seems to be the only way to relax after a long travel day. So, made myself some coffee at almost 10 o'clock. It's probably gonna be a terrible idea, but after a nice long travel day, it's kind of all I want, really. Good morning, good morning. Boy, do I have a story to tell you guys. Well, it's nothing really like dramatic, but I thought it spooked me a little bit last night. So after I came in from having the campfire, I was setting up to have the GoPros do a night lapse. Typically that's what I do for every single video when I transition from day to day. I love to do a night lapse of the place, get like a starry night lapse, but it was kind of cloudy last night, so I'm not sure if I'll include it this time. But when I was coming back outside, the owner, when we first got here, he greeted us and said, you know, there is a bear and there's a pair of mountain lions in the area who come down. And the mountain lions, they'll come down at night and they'll kind of search the area, hunt the area, whatever. And they've set up game traps. That's how they found them, and that's how they saw them, or game cameras. And when I was coming back outside to set up the GoPros yesterday, I had my headlamp on and I step out the door here and I just kind of peek my head out and I just kind of do like a survey because it's pitch black. I just wanted to make sure, just kind of get a survey of the perimeter. And then I see something right here on the other side of these logs right here, or this bundle of wood. Something, just eyes glowing at me, and the eyes were too far apart to be like deer, and it was about waist high. So my only suspicion was a mountain lion, because whenever it saw me, we made eye contact. We actually locked eyes for a little bit, and then whatever it was turned and went back up the woods. The thing is, this is what led me to believe it was a mountain lion versus a bear or anything else, was how quiet it was. It did not make a sound, and it's dead quiet out here right now, and it was dead quiet last night. But it just turned and went back up, almost if it didn't exist, like it was just like an entity kind of thing. It was so quiet going back up the hill. I immediately came back in, and it took me hours because the fire somehow started back up. I had doused it last night, and then it started back up. And I was watching it from the window. I was dreading. I was like, man, I got to go back out there. I got to go take care of that fire. So I did that. But other than that, peaceful sleep, man. Beautiful area. honestly.
It's time for breakfast, and we are heading into town for a little spot recommended by the host. All right, we have made it to the town of Somers, and it looks to be a very, very small town, but kind of used to that by now. Somers Bay Cafe, which is a cute little local restaurant apparently known for its breakfast and lunch offerings, which the restaurant itself is inspired by the local attraction, Flathead Lake. Time to dig in. I just got a breakfast sandwich, like a bacon, egg, and cheese on, I believe it's pressed French bread. I think that's what it said.
With some taters.
With some taters, ma'am. Some diced potatoes. Doing good. Thank you. We're gonna try this behemoth. It almost looks like it's on some kind of pancake bread. No, this is definitely bread. So we're gonna try it out. The eggs are not runny, which I appreciate. I hate runny eggs. And it got some flavor. 8 out of 10 for sure. So that was a good little spot, I would say. I would say for what I had, 7.5, 8 out of 10.
I give it a 7.
A 7?
Yeah, like a 6 or 7. Yeah.
Would you go back?
It was a nice little stop. So like, for first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd maybe want to try like a different spot next time.
Yeah, but there's not too much around here. I think there's like one other spot from what the host said.
Which is more like a pastry and coffee kind of spot, not like a sit down, big breakfast kind of spot.
Yeah, so it's time to go back. We have about 30 minutes to get packed up and leave. And luckily today's a short travel day. We only have about like 40-45 minutes, which maybe translates to like an hour RV time. So we'll get there on time and get checked in and get settled in.
Yeah, the mountain lion almost got you, huh? Yeah, you're gonna make friends with them.
Alright, what comes up has got to come down. So, I'm going to walk Trey all the way down this hill that we climbed up yesterday. And if climbing up the hill was scary, coming down the hill is also going to be just as scary. So, so far so good. No scraping. Very kind. Alright, looking good. They're my babies. I hope y'all enjoy your day.
It's always those steep downhill turns that make me a little uneasy at times, but we made it down just fine, and it's time to head on over to McGregor Lakes RV Resort, which is a short drive past Kalispell. Alright, so we do have an insight. We got moved to an insight, and we are number 27, so all we gotta do is just go around, get in here. 50 amps. So far, Montana hasn't shown us nothing but chilly weather and clouds, but I'm sure it's incredible as soon as that sun starts shining through. And both the truck and the RV are gonna need a little bit of a cleaning this weekend, because we really put some dirt on it. Right there, that's it. Jess and I are already gearing up for Glacier and cannot wait to hit the trail this weekend, but for now, it's time to get some groceries and get ready for the week ahead. How does it feel being all set up for the next month?
Feels great. It feels really good. Today was not too bad. It was just kind of long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already 9, even though it doesn't feel like it or look like it.
Yeah, I mean, look at this, guys. Like we were saying last night, this is 9 o'clock. It's crazy how bright it is out here. I feel like it's, what, 7:30, somewhere around there? But also, we didn't actually get to talk about this. The Hipcamp, would you stay there again?
You know, I would, but it's just kind of sketch getting up and down. It's a beautiful spot, and the hosts were so friendly.
Yeah.
But if you have like a larger RV, like ours is 36 feet, a fifth wheel, it can get a little sketch getting up. So you just have to be careful, take it slow. But other than that, I mean, honestly, they were super hospitable. They were so
Yeah.
kind and very quick to respond, which is very big for me.
Yes.
I appreciate communication.
Host-wise, they were perfect. We actually got there, and shortly after recording some of the intro stuff, we were hooking up the power, and the 30 amps wasn't working. So we, reached out to them, like, hey, any suggestions, any tips on this? Because it's, not used to stuff not working, and they were new to Hipcamp, and they're still working out the kinks. So the guy came out immediately, resolved everything. We were good to go for the night. Except the mountain lion who gave us a little sneak peek too. But we're here for the month in McGregor Lake. We're about an hour outside of Glacier, where we're excited to go see. Everybody's hyped it up, like I've been telling you guys. So we're gonna go see it for the first time with fresh eyes, and kind of give you guys our opinion on trail next week. And if you are into outdoor RV content, exploring national parks, feel free to give a sub to the channel and share this video. Like, give a thumbs up to the video, and share this with the video with share this with a fellow adventurer who would appreciate this. And we'll see you guys next week in Glacier National Park. Peace and much love.